Registered sex offenders are forced to live through endless public embarrassment and scrutiny. They aren't the only ones punished. The moment sex offenders are arrested, many innocent families are torn apart. I'd love it if you could start, first and foremost, with telling us the day that your world changed. What was that day like?
It was pretty shocking, and it was really hard because I didn't see it coming, and it seemed like it dragged on the whole day, just because started it alone the day I found out because the police came to my door. I was all alone and nobody was there, and so it felt like the day just dragged on from there. But then they were asking me about the computers, and then I was getting more of an idea of what it might be. But I just didn't know what they were exactly until later when they took me aside and explained exactly why they were there, and it was from my dad. And they asked me questions about him and.
So to be clear, your father was that the cops were there because your father had been looking at child pornography on the computer. Was there anything else that your father had done, or was that the extent of what they were there for?
That was the only thing.
Did you have any knowledge that he was doing things like this on his computer? Did you see any signs of things like this?
I knew he was looking at regular porn. It wasn't really easy for him to hide. We all kind of knew. But I had no idea about the child, and I wouldn't have ever guessed it. It's like when they left, everything just fell apart. My mom was going like crazy. My brother was trying to calm her down. I was just trying to stay in control. And so I just left. I went down the road to my friend's house because I knew they would be there for me. To keep myself, I always made sure that I stayed strong. That was the idea in my head. It's you have to stay strong and you have to focus on your grades for school. So I always kept my head into my school. I was like, don't let this affect you, because you want to do well. And if you let this affect you, a lot of things that I worked for can be ruined.
Where's your father right now?
At church. My dad has been out for a couple of months. It took me a while to fully forgive my dad, but I came home and in my mind I was I have to get this over with. I have to say I love him and I forgive him. And so I went to him and I hugged him and I said I love you and everything. It was the hardest thing, but I knew it was the right thing to do because I still loved him. And so but I still was mad at times. I still blamed him for what could happen or was going to happen. So, but after going to church and everything and having my friends with me, I started forgiving him and forgiving him and forgiving him. But it's been worth it forgiving him all those times because my relationship is getting back to how it was. I would like for people to know because it just shows you a little bit more what you wouldn't expect some people to go through. You might look at somebody and you never know this person would have went through something. They might look like they're all held together, but you don't know their past. And then you find out they did go through that, and you wonder how they're fine now, how are they going on with their life, and they look fine, how they go through this. And mine is a good testimony, I believe, because it shows people that it doesn't always have to end bad. You can keep on going with your life, that there is the happier ending. You just got to find a way, have some probably supportive people. That's what helped me.